Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce you to the SEX1S. Sex1S? What the hell, SE? I guess I should change the intro. Sure, the Sex1S is great, but have you tried the P120? What do you mean demonetized? Now, we'll get into the comparisons in just a couple, but first let's check out this horribly named microphone. It's an all-metal design on the mic that I'm really going to call the X1S from here on out. Got a chunky feel to it with a good deal of heft. That said, the grill is not sturdy. Just pushing on it almost bent it, so keep that in mind. Other than that, you have these two switches, which are plastic. And one of my only complaints about the build, the switches are super loose and easy to switch. I actually ruined my last video shoot with this. Had the pad on without knowing it, which led to a whole bunch of noise. And the biggest problem is because of the nature of the physical switch, it can be hard to tell which mode it's on. Kind of annoying, to be honest. Now, this mic also has this clip style of mount, which I don't really like. That said, there is a shock mount that is sold separately, which is a much nicer add-on. And it does come with a really nice pop filter. Now, considering the price of this microphone, perhaps finding it with the shock mount might be a good idea. This is a cardioid condenser microphone. It's 20 Hz to 20 kHz. It has a sensitivity of 30 millivolts per Pascal, self noise of 9 dB, which is fantastic at this price point, by the way, signal to noise ratio of 85 dB, and two low cut filters at 80 and 160 Hz, both at 6 dB per octave. And of course, there are those two pads at 10 dB and 20 dB. This is the off-axis rejection of the X1s. This is me speaking about 5 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm speaking about 5 inches off the side of the capsule. And now I'm speaking about 5 inches off the rear of the capsule. Now for the plosive rejection test of the X1s. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Whoa. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Now for the proximity effect test of the X1s. This is me speaking about 5 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm about 1 inch off the front of the capsule. 5 inches, 1 inch. Now let's take a look at some of the buttons on the front. We're going to start with a pad, and this is the 10 dB pad right now. You can really dropped me down there. I can see the waveform is barely noticeable. So let's move it over to the 20 dB pad. Now we have the 20 dB pad, and this is what it sounds like. Now let's take a look at the roll-offs that we have. This is the 80 Hertz roll-off on the X1s. And you can tell not too much gone from my voice here, but any of the low rumble that might be around, maybe outside or in this room, completely gone. Now let's move it over to the 160. Now at this point, you will notice a bit more of my voice going away with the roll-off. It's a 6 dB per octave roll-off, which isn't too extreme. However, it is at 160 Hertz, and there is a little bit of the rumble of my voice in at 160. I don't normally do a roll-off lower than 80 Hertz, so this might be taking a bit more of my voice than I'd really want. However, it could be very handy in many different situations, so what do you think? And now we have the X1s up against the P120. Now, the AKG P120 is what I call a unicorn microphone. A great microphone at a great price, under $100. This one, I believe, is right at $100. Both of them, I do notice, do go on sale quite often. And as I go between them, I want to know, does the X1s in any way steal some of the thunder of the P120 when you consider the price point of both? Is this one the new unicorn microphone? Is the X1s the new must-have in your mic locker unicorn mic? I really do like the sound of the SE. So I was going to say the name. Don't say the name. No. It's the X1s. I'm not falling for your tricks, SE. Or the AKG P120, which is, by the way, a very family-friendly name. Thank you, AKG. Thank you for not calling it the sex mic. What do you mean I'm demonetized again? Come on. I don't know. Does the unicorn microphone king lose its crown here? I mean, it is really close, but what I can say is these two microphones can exist independently of each other, meaning you can own both and find uses for them exclusively. The P120 is a bit tighter in the lows that it has, that is, as well as the mids. Now, the X1s does have a little bit more in that low end for a bit more richness, even if it's a bit looser. Perhaps having the P120 for more instrumentation due to that smaller capsule, it'll bring out a bit more detail and keep the X1s for the voice. Not bad. So I guess we kind of have two microphones sharing the unicorn mic crown. and I think I'm okay with that. In fact, I'm going to make it my mission to find more microphones that are unicorns at this price point so you can build up your mic locker with amazing and cheap alternatives. Good job, SE. Just not on the name. Now, with all that said, if you are wondering what my full thoughts were on the P120, well, you can check out my review of it up here. Cheers.